Today we are driving my personal daily drift car, which is a BMW E36. A few modifications, as you might already notice.
As you can see, you have to just strap in just before you even get going, because this shit gets serious.
No, I didn't have a reverse.
No door panels because drift car. Race seats because drift car. Steering wheel sideways because drift car.
Yeah, I just got thrown keys to this drift car and I have no idea what to expect right now.
So what's it really like to drive an E36 drift car?
Okay, let's do this. This is a 1992 BMW 325i.
It's so stiff, as soon as you hit anything, you're just bouncing around.
You gotta go around speed bumps.
Oh, speed bump. Oh, my back.
It's comfortable to a degree.
My back's gonna be broken by the time I'm done driving this thing.
The interior pieces are gone as well because lightweight, you know, how it is.
Not really nice. Then again, this car isn't exactly made for a smooth ride.
You can't bitch about it. You're driving a drift spec car. It's meant to slide, and if you want to slide, it has to be stiff. You can't go around it.
Can't turn. It wants you to stay stiff. It's stuck in here.
I really like these race seats though. It really gives it that vibe that you want in drift cars. You're not moving around, and they really serve a purpose in this car.
This car is stiff and it's fun.
Try to get this thing together. You really have to battle this car to drive it. Sounds good though.
Everybody that I know has some kind of affection towards this car.
I really don't know much about BMWs. I can tell you that they can definitely build one hell of a machine.
Even if you're not a BMW fan, the E36 is iconic. You see that car, you're like, oh, this guy's doing something. He has some kind of secrets up the sleeve. Or normally these things are built, stanced, you know, track day beaters, drift beaters, but you can still daily them, and that's part of the thing.
Motor modifications consist of pretty much nothing but the intake. So what's a daily drift car? So there are street spec drift cars and there are daily drift cars. The difference is that you have a full race car and a street spec drift car, but it's street legal and could drive on the street. The daily drift car is you have a daily commute vehicle that is set up to drift. And this is what this car basically is made to do. And when it comes to drifting, I don't want to hop into a stock car, pop the clutch, and start sliding. BMWs require a little bit of tuning because they're designed for handling, the normal type or circuit racing or whatever, time attack. They're designed to handle. And drifting, everything is opposite, completely. The front steering is modified pretty much 99%. The only thing that I haven't put in the suspension and steering in the front are the rack spacers. It's got full front suspension, E36 control arms, M3 end links, Bilstein PSS9 coilovers, a bunch of bushings, everything set up for quick response. It's widened in the front for more stability. I have 50mm spacers in the front to poke the wheels out. Once you do that and leave the back ones where they were, you really feel it. The stability increases tremendously. So you're changing all the angles, all the bushings, setting up the car just for that specification. So the wheel setup on the drift car goes like this. super sticky tires in the front, average gripping tires in the rear. Since I have absolutely no power, I have 16-inch tires in the rear, and then I have 17-inch Falcon Azenuses in the front for a constant grip. Those tires are amazing. I love those tires. You actually have to put an effort to drive, and that makes it fun. It's a challenge. You get bored quickly. You just like with drifting. Anywhere you drift, if you drift in an open parking lot, you're really not drifting. You're just oversteering, trying not to crash. You're not specific of where you want to place the car, how you want to come around it, with how much speed and how much angle. That's why I shut it down, place cones all over the street as my own track, and then I slide it. A lot of you say, but you can't street drift, Pashi. Yes, I can, but I'm not doing it illegally, and that's what you don't understand. Drifting on private property is also called street drifting, so you can do that.
One more thing I forgot. Because drift car, you don't have a hood, so people are breaking their necks looking at this thing. On top of all the crackles and pops and camber, it's a neck breaker.
I swear, I get more people looking at this than I would in a M3. It's ridiculous.
Alright, let's get out of here. That was fun. So why would somebody get a car and set it up to a drift spec with super stiff suspension setup, a tight fit bucket racing seat, and drive it on a daily basis?
It's such a raw feeling though when you're sitting inside this cockpit. There really isn't much to this car. It's not made to look good, it's just made to drive and drift. I find that really extremely cool.
You could obviously clean this up if you wanted to and make it shiny and nice, but it kind of takes away from the experience. You want to have it raw. This thing's dirty.
I mean, once we get used to the shifting and the clutch, this car's really not that bad to drive.
It's fun. It really puts a smile on your face. You sit so low, you have the feeling that you're in so much control of this car. Every single one of your inputs are completely giving feedback to you.
As a daily driver, I don't know if I can do it. It's just too stiff for me. I like a comfortable ride.
Well, the answer is because we like driving, and we like driving cars that perform.
I gotta say, that was one interesting experience.
It just feels good. It's like one of those things that you can get more for what you pay for.
I'll leave the drift cars to the pros.
Hug it to myself, hug it to myself, hug it to myself.